कहीं आपसे सर्वशक्तियां कैच कर सकते, इसलिए बुद्धि बल कहा जाता। जैसे साइंस बल है, साइंस बल कितनी हद तक की कमाल दिखाते, कई बातें जो आज मानव को असंभव लगती है, वो संभव कर दिखाते हैं। लेकिन ये विनाशी बल और दिव्य बुद्धि बल साइंस भी बुद्धि बल है, लेकिन दिव्य बुद्धि बल नहीं, संसारी बुद्धि है। इसलिए इस संसार के प्रति, प्रकृति के प्रति सोच सकती है और कर सकती है। दिव्य बुद्धि बल मास्टर सर्वशक्तिवान बनाता है। परमात्म पहचान, परमात्म मिलन, परमात्म प्राप्ति, ये अनुभूति कराते। दिव्य बुद्धि जो चाहो जैसे चाहो असंभव को संभव करने वाली। समझा ना सभी ने, समझा
Om Shanti. Object signals. Remain constantly in the stage of a detached observer. Have interest and pay attention to the subject of yoga, that is, remembrance. If there is greater interest in service without remembrance, then it becomes limited. Then you don't have the attitude of being beyond. The desire for name, respect, position, all becomes mixed. The unlimited attitude reduces, and this is why you have to keep the balance in remembrance and service and continue to move forward. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avyakti Parivar. Today's day 22. Companion of God. Today's topic is detached and loving. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, everyone. Om Shanti. Everyone is well? Okay? Yes? Very good. Yeah, that's what Baba has taught us, right? If we say okay, we remain okay. then we please the master, because Baba wants us to be okay, very okay. Right? Mm. Shiv Baba used the medium chariot of Brahma Baba. Shiv Baba is incorporeal. So Brahma Baba understood, Shiv Baba recognized, because Shiv Baba was playing part through Brahma Baba. So Brahma Baba could understand, recognize the qualities of Shiv Baba, because he was using his medium. So he knew what it means to be like Shiv Baba. So as much he kept recognizing Shiv Baba, he starts using those qualities in practical life. And then, of course, Dadis, they all were with uh, Bab Dada, Shiv Baba, Brahma Baba, Sakar Bab Dada, and they will follow Bab Dada. And they were also have so much concentration, recognition, unshakable faith, trust. So they kept seeing Brahma Baba in different situations, how he maintained his different stages. And that's how they start following. So when I am looking at the qualities of Dadi Janki, she was so much accurate in following Bab Dada. Remembrance of Shiv Baba, but following Brahma Baba. We do remember Brahma Baba just to know what he did, how he did whatever, to maintain stage and to be consistent, to be victorious, to be bestower. All these are main qualities of God. So Darijanki kept looking, kept following, and I liked the way I am able to connect the qualities. I remember there are many, we did from 16th of the month, but I was just looking at when there are pure thoughts, there is peaceful mind. And I connected very much with that, because if thoughts are pure, mind will be peaceful. And when mind is peaceful, one can completely really get good percentage, the stage of being detached observer. If you are not peaceful, you can't be detached, nor you can be a good observer. When you are peaceful, you really look at every scene of drama, the part of every actor, and you don't have reaction, but you appreciate, you accept. And when you accept and appreciate, then automatically you become remover of obstacles. Because you are using all the qualities, right? So whatever different obstacles arise, whether in mind, intellect, or externally, one is able to really remove them, because we recognize and then we remove. And then we become what we call as, after detached observer, then we become remover of obstacles. And then we become what is called detached and lovely. Baba was really, really very lovely, that we all know. But you cannot be lovely unless you are detached. If you are not detached, then definitely you are affected. and then you can't be lovely. So it's a very, very beautiful balance to be detached and also to be lovely. And we are detached, we don't react, so we don't create more karmic accounts. When our mind keep reacting, whatever comments then we make and think, again create some more karmic accounts. So we have to be very careful. Even through thoughts, I don't want to create more karmic accounts. So being detached, you are detached observer. So you just observe. You don't have to interact necessarily. Sometimes we don't maybe in action interact or react, but through words we do. Sometimes not even through words, but in our mind, there are a lot of thoughts. But now there will be very deep silence. I'm just drama. I'm observing everyone's part. Even if you comment on someone's part, their part won't change. But in your part, something is added because of your thoughts and words. So to play elevated role, I should not be involved into any such thoughts or words. Generally, there is this tendency of commenting and saying a lot of things about any other soul. So be detached and then also be very lovely. How do we know we are detached? When we are able to be lovely all the time. When you are lovely all the time, that means you are detached. So it's very, very beautiful way. We saw Dadi ascending, attaining the stage which Brahma Baba attained. They were also like Dadi was so detached even from her body. Biggest bondage or obstacle could be from one's own body. As aging goes on, definitely body is not same, right? But Baba Mani Murli, don't get fed up from your body. It's valuable body. You can earn income through this body, through remembrance, and also by doing some service. Service through thoughts, that is Mansa Seva, which is very important. Service through words. Or even Karma Yogi, as much one can do. So body is valuable, right? Because body is valuable, then you have to take care of body, not get fed up with body. But also don't get attached to the body that all the time you are really, really concerned about body. Not being, you shouldn't be concerned, but keep it well as much you can. Whether taking care of diet or rest or atmosphere, but that also not with attachment. Anything you do with attachment you create another bondage, another bondage. That is why Baba wants us to be detached from body and then anything connected with body. And as in Abhyak Murli Baba said, there is power which is temporary, and the power of divine intellect, swan intellect, is everlasting power. So same is as much methods I use for the body, power of yoga, silence, energy of love, all different powers which are spiritual and imperishable will not only keep you detached from all bondages, but also, as I said, you will be loved, you because of being lovely. Let's say you are very detached within the family, Lokik or Alaukik, but you hadn't been loving through thoughts, through drishti, through the words which we speak. Right? So very, very loving. So our practice will be, because we were detached observer, so we have been able to have the stage of being detached and then give sakash, no? Just be detached and give a lot of good wishes, lot of blessings. Because first you start your love through good wishes, right? And then through your words and then interaction also. Because there should be acts of being loving, which are very, very important. So it's so beautiful. Think of how really it's so clear that how Shiv Brahma Baba followed Shiv Baba, and then Dadis followed Brahma Baba or Bab Dada. And what we all have to do, we all also have to follow Dadis or Brahma Baba. So I'm finding it very fascinating this month, first with Dadi Gulzar and now with Dadi Janki, that how in practical life Dadi Janki was able to follow Bab Dada. So connect with the points. More you practice, you can see the connection. So you will have all the attainments of pure thoughts, of remover of obstacles, of detached observer, and now will be detached and lovely. I like this very much, detached and lovely. So we all will practice this. So we had lovely time in Gyan Sarovar for 3 days, and now we are in again Shantivan. And I must say the flood of Baba's children have started coming for the group of 10, 15,000. They need at least 5,000 sevadaris, right? For cooking, for serving, for security, for and everything. So they start arriving 3 days before. So now they all are arriving and we expecting very big crowd. Double foreigners, about 350. So there is only Gyan Sarovar. So it's quite full. But everyone who came, they stayed well. They are so happy. I'm sure that you all also must be thinking, but maybe next year or end of the year again. But we had a good time, very good time. Okay, let us remember Baba and see how clearly we contemplate on being detached and lovely. Om Shanti. Om Shanti, everyone. Just be detached and lovely. Om Shanti, Om Shanti.
Welcome to our Vyakti journey, Sakar Murli, the beautiful meeting of the ocean and the rivers.
ऐसा कोई भी मनुष्य नहीं होगा इस सारी दुनिया में जिसको भाई बाप दादा कहते होंगे। भले कई ऐसे कहते हैं कि हमारे में भी ईश्वर है, कोई पराग से है, तो ऐसा फिर कोई नहीं होगा जो उनको बाप दादा कहता होगा कोई, क्योंकि उनका फिर एडॉप्टेड बच्चा हो जाते हैं। जैसे ब्रह्मा है एडॉप्टेड बच्चा शिव का, ठीक है ना, एडॉप्टेड है, नहीं कोई ईश्वरी से तो नहीं पैदा हुआ जैसे। तो इतने सभी बच्चे हैं, इतने सेंटर्स है, बाबा बात भी सबसे करते हैं यहाँ बैठे कि ऐसा कोई भी मनुष्य नहीं होगा जिनको अर्थ सहते और बाप और दादा कहते होंगे। उनसे कोई पूछेंगे तो अगर कहे भी कोई तो भी ये जो नॉलेज फिर है वो तो कोई दे भी नहीं सकेंगे। तो तुम बच्चे ये भी समझा सकते हो कि माउंट आबू में हमारा बाप और दादा बैठा हुआ है। अगर कोई और कहे कि हाँ हमारे में भी परमेश्वर है, तो जिसमें परमेश्वर होगा उसने अडॉप्ट जरूर किया होगा। जब अडॉप्ट किया होगा तो उसका नाम भी जरूर दूसरा रखा होगा। ऐसा तो कोई है नहीं जिसको कोई भी बाप और दादा दोनों का था कहे अर्थ सहते, न सिर्फ अर्थ सहते परंतु यहाँ पोस्ट में भी ऐसे लिखते हैं शिव बाबा केयर ब्रह्मा। क्यों कि जिसको अडॉप्ट किया उसका नाम बदल दिया। ये तो बच्चों को मालूम है सभी को कि बरोबर अडॉप्ट तो तुम्हारा भी किया था बहुतों का, परंतु इनका जो नाम अडॉप्ट किया तो बदल नहीं सकते हैं कभी। ये बदल सकते हैं नहीं, ये भाग सकते हैं भला? आशीर्वाद सुरंती कठंती भागवती हो सकते हैं? नहीं हो सकते हैं, क्योंकि उनकी सैटन है एकदम। तो अभी सभी बच्चे जहां भी है वो ये जरूर जानते हैं कि हमारा बाप और दादा है और हम बाबा से इन्हों द्वारा वसा भी लेते हैं। और सभी बच्चे जानते हैं कि वो हमारा लौकिक बाप ही यहाँ है, ऐसे नहीं कहते नहीं है। कोई कहे कोई करता है फिर तो कहेंगे तो सही हमारा लौकिक बाबा भी है और फिर परलौकिक भी है और ये अलौकिक भी है। अभी ऐसा कोई भी नहीं कहेंगे कि हमको 3 बाप है, ऐसा कोई होगा ही ना, कोई तो बुद्धि नहीं होगा। ये सारी बात है और तुम बता सकते हो जो भी हो गए उनको कि बरोबर प्रजापिता ब्रह्मा हमारा बाप है, यानी ये भी होके गया है। अच्छा लौकिक बाप भी तो बहुत ही मिलते आए हैं, अभी भी है। बाकी जो पहले के बाप है वो हमको अभी मिला हुआ है, और वो मिला हुआ है हमको ये जो ड्रामा का प्लान है उनसे अनुसार। जो ड्रामा का अर्थ है तो कोई भी नहीं जानते हैं, क्योंकि जब वर्ल्ड की हिस्ट्री और ज्योग्राफी रिपीट होती है तो फिर उनको ड्रामा जरूर कहेंगे, और रिपीट भी एक्यूरेट करती है। ड्रामा भी तो एक्यूरेट रिपीट करते हैं ना बच्चे, तो यह बहन का ड्रामा सो तो और ही एक्यूरेट होगा।
प्रकाश कुंड की वो ज्वाला जिसने हर एक ज्योति जगाई, प्रकाश कुंड की वो ज्वाला जिसने हर एक ज्योति जगाई, उनको देखते ही सबने फिर से आत्म रोशनी पाई। उसकी वाणी सुन के बन गए उसकी वाणी सुन के बन गए तुच्छ मानव देव समान।
मुझे बच्चों पे रुहानी बाप और दादा का दिलो जान से करते याद प्रारंभ गुड नाइट। रुहानी बच्चों पे रुहानी बाप की नमस्ते।
Okay, so now let's invite our dear angel sister, Sister Churi. Welcome.
Om Shanti Bhumika, Om Shanti Didi, Om Shanti all of the Avyakti Parivar. It's nice to be with you again. I am wondering how you did yesterday. Were you able to remove obstacles without thinking about obstacles? Right? Because as soon as you think about an obstacle, then you're in the obstacle. So I thought, I think there's something very interesting in last night's homework. Baba said, if you keep saying that you have an obstacle, you become the form of an obstacle, right? So if I keep complaining about my body or my mother-in-law or my job or my landlord or my boss, I become the form of that. I take on that character. So he said, if we create thoughts of happiness, we experience the atmosphere to be one of happiness. So thoughts create a world. What we think about, what we focus on is what we become. And this is why we can't have God as a companion if we're thinking about all the things that are wrong in our life, right? It won't work. Because if I'm thinking about all those things, then Baba won't be able to come close. So today we're talking about, I love that Didi says detached and lovely, because in English we translate it as detached and loving. But I think lovely is nicer, right? It's kind of nicer, isn't it? And if you're lovely because you're loving. And if you're loving, it makes you lovely. So let's go with detached and lovely. This is very close. Removing obstacles is very close to this idea of being detached and lovely. And so I want to start out with, as usual, a little story. So in 2010, there was an RC meeting in February, and someone asked Dottie a question, someone who was, I guess, exasperated. They said, well, what if someone has a very abusive manner? I mean, they're very unkind to those around them. Is there a time when we say this behavior has to change, or do we just use loving vision? Now, what do you think Dottie said? So Dottie said, I have all the yuktis. This is how I am alive until now and show my face. Baba should see my face and be able to love me. No one else's face should be visible on my face. No one else's sanskars should be visible in me. In many people's minds, other people's faces are roaming around inside of them. Now, you know what she's saying? If I'm thinking about someone who's upsetting me, then their face is in my mind, right? If I'm thinking about my landlord or my mother-in-law or my child that's misbehaving or something, that's the face that's roaming around my mind, and that's what others will feel. So she said, our vibrations travel thousands of miles away. And Baba said to us, you are my helper children. This is how much power my Baba has. Our drishti must be detached and loving. I must not remember anything from my past, even if someone has made a mistake. Someone says it's easy to forgive, but difficult to forget. But our personality must be so high. There should be a global program that makes people ask, how have these people managed to do this? How have the Brahma Kumaris grown so large? So in other words, the answer to that question that that person asked, is there a time we say this behavior has to transform, or do we just use loving vision? What's Dottie's answer? You use loving vision, right? You don't hold their face in your mind or in your heart. So it's really a question of where is our intellect pulled? What are we being pulled to? And as we practice our meditation and we get stronger, we're only pulled to Baba. We're only pulled to love. Didi said, pure thoughts, right, that make us peaceful. So if we want to be in the company of God, we have to be able to hold this quality inside of us, this quality of thought. We have to be pulled to be with him. We have to be pulled to peace and not pulled to relationships and other things. There was a time in 2014, Daddy was not doing so well that year, 2014. I actually went to India 5 times that year. And one of the times I went was July, and I got there at the same time as Brother Neville from London. And I won't tell you the whole big long story, but at a certain point, we were sitting with Dottie, and she went like this. And then she looked at us and she said to him, you're not from London. And then she looked at me and said, you're not from America. She said, you are Baba's Sevadari children. Remain up above, not even thinking about where you have reached. And then she did this again. And the more she got close to the end of her life, she did this a lot. So what was she signaling us? She was saying, let go of all that. Let go of your attachments and your identities to your body and your role and your family and all the situations, and just be with Baba. And that's what she did. That's what we were so, that's what drew us to her, right? That she was able to do that. And she never gave up on us and our ability to do that. So let's look at what we're going to do for tomorrow. Detached and loving, or if you prefer, detached and lovely, which I kind of like better. The sign of a soul being extremely detached is that the soul will be extremely loved by Baba and the entire family. To be detached means to constantly go beyond attraction, beyond influence. Eat, play, and do service, but remain detached. Spread powerful spiritual vibrations of the stage of being bodiless, of being detached and lovely into the atmosphere, and you will do service at a fast speed. So tomorrow, from Amrit Vela all through the day, each time you connect in, your stage is bodiless, you're loving and you're lovely, and you're not attached or influenced or even attracted to anything else. So check on yourself all day long, and then tomorrow night we'll come back together again. So let's hear the meditation. I'm loving these beautiful meditations. Let's hear this one.
Detached and loving. The sign of a soul being extremely detached is that the soul will be extremely loved by Baba and the entire family. To be detached means to constantly go beyond attraction, beyond influence. Eat, play, and do service, but remain detached. Spread powerful spiritual vibrations of the stage of being bodiless, of being detached and loving into the atmosphere. And you will do service at a fast speed.
न्यारा और प्यारा। अति न्यारे की निशानी है वो बाप और सर्व परिवार के अति प्यारे बनेंगे। न्यारा अर्थात आसक्ति भाव से भी न्यारा, अनासक्त। खाओ, पियो, सेवा करो, लेकिन न्यारे रहो। अब रूहानी वाइब्रेशन अशरीरीपन की स्थिति के वाइब्रेशन न्यारे और प्यारेपन के शक्तिशाली वाइब्रेशन वायुमंडल में फैलाओ। इससे ही तीव्र गति की सेवा होगी।
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, everyone. Detached and lovely tomorrow, huh? And then tomorrow night we'll talk about it again. Om Shanti.